No volume. How about now? Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ fún mi. Can you hear me now? No volume. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you can't, let me check. Maybe it's your side. Let me check from my side here. Let me check my phone. Let me check the show on my phone. Let me check my phone. I have volume here. Let me check the show on my phone. Let me check my phone. I have volume here. Let me check the show. It's okay now. All right. So can you still hear me? So if you can still hear me, let me know. Volume is good now. Thank you. Paul Eneche, that is the pastor of Dunamis Church. He is a doctor. Him and the wife, they are both doctors. Doctors who drop their certificates for church business. Is the same pastor that carried crutches to one of these countries now in West Africa to go and do miracle. He left all the Almanjiri in Nigeria, all the cripple that we have in Nigeria, especially in the north. He left them to go to it was in Cameroon to go and be performing miracle, carrying crutches. So this guy you are looking at the picture is their worker. The guy is a teacher in their school. It is all your pastors that have school. All of you that will come crying, supporting this pastor, may Nigerian pastor happen to you. That is all I am going to tell you. Yes, it's the same pastor of Osinachi that said he was not aware that Osinachi's husband was beating her. Everybody was aware. He's the only one that was not aware. Pastor, I was not aware. That is his name now. I was not aware until Osinachi died under his nose. Now another abuse is going on. He's still the same pastor that got people that wore t-shirts of Buhari must go, that got them arrested in Abuja and locked up. These are the people that people have empowered with their sweats, now using the same money to oppress the poor. The same money to oppress the poor. This guy is their worker. This guy you are looking at in the picture, see him in front of a police station. He is being oppressed by Pastor Eneche and his wife. They wanted to ask him to leave their church and sack him. But because the guy wanted to know why he was going to be sacked for just like that, they lied against him that he was sleeping with students. Where is the evidence? They couldn't produce evidence. I will play one voice note for you where you will hear Pastor Eneche's wife. She did not know she was being recorded. Come and see game plan, evil plan by pastor's wife. Come and see evil game plan by a pastor's wife. These are the people that you are calling men of God. These are the people that you will die for. These are the people you will vouch with your life that they are men of God. And I always wonder how you come to know that they are men of God. Whether you were there when God called them and said, this is my man. Oh, whether you were there when God called them to say, this one oh, is my man. You give them name. They are men of God. I'm going to play his video, the guy's audio for you, where he was talking about, he was recording this pastor's wife, and they didn't know he was recording. You will hear what he was saying. You will hear what this pastor's wife was saying in that audio. People that call themselves men of God, it is easy for them to arrest people with police, to harass people, to use power to harass people. Àwọn tẹ́ ń pè léyàn Ọlọ́run nìyẹn. Ó easy fún wọn láti sáré gba police station, láti gbé ọlọ́pàá, láti fi máa gbé èèyàn, láti gbé ọlọ́pàá. Wọn ò yàtọ̀ sí ìjọba. Láti gbé ọlọ́pàá, láti pa àwọn èèyàn lẹ́nu mọ́. Àwọn tẹ́ ń pè ní èèyàn Ọlọ́run nìyẹn. Àwọn èèyàn Ọlọ́run yín nìyẹn. School tán dá sílẹ̀, mẹ̀kúnnù ò lè lọ. Gbogbo wọn náà ní school. Àwọn ọmọ yín wà nílé ìsìn, wọn ò rí school lọ. Ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀yẹ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn people yìí. Let me play the voice note, because I'm not going to stay long. It's just to let me lend my voice to this so that people will hear and they will see them for who they are. A lot of people have been talking about it. Àwọn bloggers kan ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. So I'll just let you hear the voice notes. Hear what he was saying in that, or where what this man was saying. Let me play the audio, okay, gbọ́. Àwọn pásítọ̀ yín nìyẹn o. Àwọn tẹ́ ń pè ní èèyàn Ọlọ́run nìyẹn. Tó jẹ́ wípé ẹ lè títorí tí wọn kẹ́ kú. Maybe the day it will happen, you will go through who they are. I'm coming. I'll play the voice notes now. You will listen to what he was saying, what she was saying.
That shouldn't be let in. So I said, well, they were going to sue me and claim damages for plied me on one of those occasions to say that it's an unfortunate situation.
The voice you are hearing now is the voice of the guy that they arrested.
And as such, she would not be able to help me in any way. So I said, okay, it's fine. Before I could know what was happening, the particular woman in the school, that is Mrs. Choma Ijezie, who was the originator of the lies that I was molesting female students, was already communicating with parents of the school and telling them that I actually raped the girl. It wasn't just molestation, but I actually raped the girl, and that these parents should avoid me as much as they could. Before I could know what was happening again, the school had sent an official message on all their social media platforms to all the parents, telling them that I've been sacked by the school, so they should no longer communicate with me. Now, looking at all this, I felt that there was a need for me to clear my name because, of course, for posterity's sake, I have children who may stumble on this information in the future and they'll ask me questions. So I got a lawyer, and the lawyer wrote to the school. We wrote politely, honorably, and appealed to the school to do two things for us. Either they set up a panel to look into the matter thoroughly, or better still, report me to the police, since it was a criminal offense that they were alleging me of. So the school replied us through their lawyer that they would not set up any panel, that I'm no longer a staff of the school, so I do not have any authority to ask them, to tell them what to do. That's one. Two, they also said that in due time, they'll report me to the appropriate government agencies who prosecute me for the crime I've committed. And that three, they were going to sue me and claim damages for all the embarrassments I've caused the school. So, with such a response, I already knew that they were not going to do. I wasn't going to get justice in them. So I wrote a petition to the Inspector General of Police, and the Inspector General of Police gave the Federal CID, Federal Criminal Investigation Department of the Nigeria Police, the authority to carry out an investigation, which they did, and their report exonerated me of all the allegations, and I sued the school. I sued the administrator of the school for defamation of character at the magistrate court in Gwagwalada, Abuja, and I also sued the school to the National Industrial Court, also in Abuja, for unlawful termination of employment. Now, 5 months down the line, this incident happened in April, and then by August 31st to be precise, I was picked up by men of the Nigerian police from the River Park Divisional Police station on allegation of rape. I was detained, and my lawyer wrote a petition to the Commissioner of Police. And after they looked at it, I was released the next day because they said the Federal CID had already investigated the matter, and so the state CID was subordinate to the Federal CID. So if a Federal CID has done an investigation, the state CID cannot come and do the same investigation. But the school insisted, and of course, using the powers that are available to them, they found a way to make sure the investigation continued at the state CID. And I was invited for interview with some of the officials of the police, and it was stated clearly there. The girl was there with her mother and some staff of the school, and she said it to the hearing of everybody that I didn't do anything to her. That was in September last year. So when the news broke out that I was arrested, Pastor Eneche invited me to his office, and he was prevailing on me to accept responsibility, to accept that I actually committed the crime, and if I do accept and I apologize to him, that he was going to do something about it. And I said, apologizing means I'm accepting that I committed the crime. I didn't do it, so I don't see why I should be apologizing. And we kept going back and forth. After that meeting, the wife of Pastor Eneche, Ms. Becky Eneche, met me severally, and we had several discussions. None of them could reach any conclusion in my favor. So I continued with the cases in court, and they've been trying to find a way to come up with some allegations against me, to see how they can make me withdraw the cases at the court. By all means, they have tried to use my brother, manipulating my brother against me. They have tried to use my wife, trying to manipulate my wife against me too. And they've tried every means possible, but I've been able to stand my ground so far. And then on the 25th of April 2022, my wife and children went out of the church premises, because we still live in the church premises. That's the Lord's Garden in Abuja. And my wife and children went out to get some things. On returning, they shut the gates and locked them out. In fact, they physically assaulted my wife, and they told her that they were under the instruction not to let her into the premises. So the information got to me because I was at home. So I went there to find out why, and the security personnel on duty informed me that the instruction was given by the wife of the pastor, Mrs. Becky Eneche, that they shouldn't be let in. So I said, well, we still live here, and we've not committed any crime, so why should they be locking out my wife and children? So I was able to have a discussion with the security personnel, and they let them in. The next day, which was Tuesday, 26th, they came and disconnected the electricity supply to our house. After that, they came with their plumbers and also disconnected our water supply. That was on Wednesday, 27th of April. Then by Thursday, being the 28th of April, I sent a message to the senior pastor, Dr. Paul Eneche, informing him of all these things that had happened. And he invited us to a meeting in his office on Friday, 29th of April. When we got to his office, he was talking angrily about the audacity my wife had to send a message to him, the kind of language she used and all of that. And she called my wife a useless girl. And so I told him that my wife is not useless, that my wife is actually very useful to me. So he in the course of talking, an argument broke out. And then he started insulting me directly, calling me a useless boy, calling me a stupid boy, a non-entity. And I reminded him that a non-entity has been working dedicatedly for 7 years in his school, and I've been promoted to several positions that a non-entity couldn't have attained. And I also reminded him that it was our pedigree that they put together to start the school, because we actually started the secondary arm of the school, Destiny Christian Academy. And so in the course of the argument, his bodyguard broke into the office. His bodyguard by the name Gabriel Agbo broke into the office and ordered me to leave the office. So I told the bodyguard that he wasn't the one who invited me to the office, so he wouldn't give me an instruction.
Okay, this is going to sound a little nuts, but the fastest and easiest way to make passive online income on Amazon is to never sell physical products.
To leave the office. If the pastor wanted me to leave his office, he would have asked me to leave. So, along the line, because we were there with my elder brother became angry and said he was not going to be part of the meeting anymore. So when we're leaving the office, the bodyguard pushed me and I staggered forward. So when I turned, I pushed him too, and then we got into an argument and we left the office. So the next day, being Saturday, 30th of April, at about 11 p.m., 11:09 p.m., the Gabriel Agbo, the bodyguard of Pastor Eneche, came with some mobile policemen to my apartment to arrest me, alleging that I am a threat to him and to the people living around the Lord's Garden. So I spoke to the mobile policemen and I explained to them how I've been living in the compound peacefully for the past 4 years, and nobody has ever reported me at the security office or being a security threat whatsoever. And so the mobile policemen left, and it ended there. Then on Saturday, 7th of May, at about 8 a.m. in the morning, I left my apartment to go and get bread for breakfast for my family. And then a mobile policeman saw me and ordered me to come here. And as I was approaching him, I said, "Officer, is there any problem?" And he just grabbed me by the neck. I said, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who you're talking to? I'm a police officer." And then the next thing, another mobile policeman joined him. It's a Dunamis security, that's their internal security personnel, also joined them. And Gabriel Agbo was also there. And they all started punching me and beating me up. And then I was able to break free. And yes, my wife ran out of the house and tried to video what was happening. And Gabriel Agbo attacked her and smashed the phone the phones. She had 2 phones on her. She said he smashed the phones, and she couldn't get the video of the incident. So when I broke free, I was walking out to go to the police station, and then they followed me with their police van to try to take me to the River Park police station. And I said, no, I will go to the station myself. I can find my way to the station. So I went to Lugbe police station, because Lugbe police station was actually the one that was closest to me. So I went there, and they asked me if it was a follow-up of a case that was already being investigated, and I said yes. And so they directed me to the federal CID, where I had reported my own case initially. So I got there, and then the federal CID people took me to hospital and treated me of some of the wounds I sustained as a result of the attacks. And they brought me, because when I left, Gabriel Agbo, that's the bodyguard of the pastor, had instructed them not to let me back into the compound. So when we got here, the officers from the federal CID asked them why, and they said that my attention was needed at the River Park police station. So we all went there, and they said that I fought with a police officer, that I assaulted a police officer. So they were charging me with criminal intimidation of a police officer. And yes, Gabriel had informed them that I was a threat to him, that I threatened him. I used intimidating words and threatening words too. So we were able to be granted bail, and so I came home. And then, of course, that has been a summary of everything that's happened so far.
I changed my phone, so my numbers became all mixed up. I mistakenly put an app that says they are helping you to arrange.
Let me explain what is up. After this one, they now had a meeting. They called him to a meeting with the wife. Hear what the wife will be saying now. She said, I want to pay the man of God. I want to pay the man of God.
So, Mr. Coach,
yes, ma'am.
Did you come with the lawyer?
Did you come with the lawyer? Yes. Okay. Oftentimes when I invited you, you tell me you prefer to come with your lawyer. Yes. But since you are here, your lawyer is not actually necessary.
No, it's not. So, Mr. Coach, we're all aware of what the situation is. I want to find out what's your current plan and take on the matter.
When this whole thing happened, I've maintained only one stand: to clear my name. I've labored in this place. I've worked here tirelessly, giving my all. 7 years of my most youthful life.
You worked 7 years too.
And if I'm no longer needed, they can ask me to go and I'll go. But to tie me to molestation and kill my name is what I won't take. That's why I've been going. People will allow you to take your time.
Let's follow on this.
And I think you are just difference.
It's okay.
Just a moment, please. The board had even called the girl. We spoke with her and some other persons that corroborated what she said. So if you are to take it up legally, I don't think it's a battle you can win, very sincerely. But I think that is not why mommy has been very matter in most of that matter. And most people don't know this, but the best way to make real income online
I'm
is
playing it
affiliate
from
marketing,
from
dropshipping with
a
Amazon.
YouTube page.
I think if you are not on a defensive, you will be given a very soft landing. That's my thinking.
Well, I just wanted to.
It will get to where I'm wanting to hear. Emma Agbo.
I pushed for you to be patron. Yes. I saw you as very zealous and everything. If people felt no, but I felt, why not? And when the whole of this matter came up, this is my stand. All right? My stand is the cameras will not lie. There's a camera you avoided, but there was a blind spot which had a different form of camera, quite hidden, which you are not aware of. We have footages. But we don't want to bother with those angles. What I want you to do is to go and put in a resignation letter. Just calmly put in a resignation letter. You have served the school for 7 years, using a chunk of your very youthful and productive years. You wish to move on with your life and you'd like to put in a resignation. You'll be grateful if your application is favorably considered. In that light, if you have a resignation brought in, what we issue to you is an approval of your resignation, and then you are entitled to disengagement packages. If, however, you are not in agreement with what I'm discussing with you, we will give you a release letter. And the release letter comes with no packages, and you have no document to present in another school or in another workplace to say you worked in XYZ. But with a resignation letter, your resignation letter copy is with you, the agreement to your resignation is attached to you, and if you apply in another place, so why are you not working in Destiny Academy? I resigned. Why did you resign? I want to move forward with my life. There is no how they will call the school and say, want to confirm about one of your staff who was working with you is here with an application to work with us. What's your recommendation? Over the years, so fine. If you find him qualified and he passes all your employment criteria, why not take him? He did a good job. We have done it. It's not one person, it's not two, it's not three. Okay, over the years, both in the church here itself and at least one of the people from the school. That's all I wanted to talk with you about that day. And I'm saying this because this is August almost ending now. Schools are recruiting. Parastatals are recruiting. This is recruitment time because people normally recruit and do postings and do placements before September, so that those that are relocating to a new town, relocating to a new area, can relocate their children's schools and all those kinds of things. So I am just speaking on your interest so that we forge a way forward. I know that's why I actually told Mr. Paul that if you wanted to come with your lawyer, you can, because I know your lawyer will be pushing you. Is it not dunamis? Take them, sue them to court. They will pay you damages. Why should they tarnish your name? There will be no such thing. There will be no damages to be paid. The church will not pay any money. Destiny Academy is autonomous of dunamis. Destiny Academy, we run just sufficient to buy the food for the children in school, pay the teachers' salaries, and then run on a minimum. There's no amount they will charge us that will be available. We'll show the bank the account details. Where is that amount going to come from? So just tell your lawyer that this is not a path to tread for your peace of mind, for your children, for your wife and yourself, so that you can move on and forge on ahead. I had even told Mr. Paul at the very beginning of the whole matter, I said, how can you ask him to leave? Where is he leaving to? Oh yeah, go give you money for house rent so that he can move out of the house. And Mr. Paul is as strong-headed as you. You know Mr. Paul now. So it's like two heads are jamming. That's where this whole matter is. For me, the first week, when your wife met me at the staircase, I said, no one will look into it. I've not heard. I didn't know anything about it. It was your wife meeting me at the corridor, at the staircase, that I heard that there was an issue. Well, I now called Paul. I said, what happened? What's going on? And then he gave me a brief. So I said, how can you tell them to go out of the house? Because your wife was saying that they gave you, is it 4 days to move out or 1 week to move out? I can't remember. So I told him, you can't tell
4
somebody to
days.
just move out like that. Give him money for house rent. We brought him from the house he was renting to here. So we'll give you money to go back. If the house is still available, you go and take the house.
Wow.
Then the other thing, you can sort it out. That's what I said. Then everything now turned. The next thing, Paul was telling me, you took them police, blah, 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 blah. What is this? I've been so busy. It's Mr. Paul. He came with somebody yesterday, and then he said, hey, there's this issue we'll be wanting to see you about. I said, oh, what is it? He said, no, you come back another day. I said, today that you saw me, you better tell me. So he now said, no. That's not it. I've been trying to get him. I went there. I couldn't get him. And
you knocked several times.
Yes.
Hmm.
I knocked, I shouted, I said, it's mommy, I'm not here with police, so I'm not here with anybody. Open the door. I want to have a discussion with you. But there was no answer, so I left.
We were not in the house at the time. My sister-in-law gave birth, so my wife was there with the children, and I was away. I appreciate you, mommy, for giving me this audience. I still think that this whole thing is one-sided. I've known Paul Onoja for a long time. We were in the university together.
Let me pause it here. Shey na don see na men of God how they are playing mafia. Can you see your men of God how they are playing mafia? Can you see how they are playing mafia? They want to sack somebody because they don't want to pay his entitlement. They said he should go and write, they want to lie on him that he raped somebody. Can you see what the people you are calling men of God? See the wife, the way she is talking like a mafia. That the guy should come and sign on his own and they will let him go. There will not be wahala. So it is because of that Eneche and the wife wants to spoil that guy's name. And the guy said, look, I have children. My children are going to grow up tomorrow to see all these things that you are saying. I need to clear my name that I did not rape or molest any child in the school. Imagine the length a pastor and the wife is going to destroy somebody just because they don't want to pay him his entitlements. They asked him to leave where he was living with his children and family, gave him a house, and they want to evict him from that house under 4 days. And because this guy did not agree, you see what they did to him. He was molested, oppressed, taken to the station and everything. You saw his face in that picture I just removed. I purposely allow you to hear everything the guy was saying on his own. And you heard Paul Eneche's wife. I'm sure she didn't know she was being recorded. These are people you are calling men of God. These are people that have become rich with your sweat. If it is your turn tomorrow, this is how they will treat you too. If it is your turn, no matter how long you have served them, number one, there is nothing called entitlement with all this pastor. Forget the story that he did sometimes ago. He was giving houses to some people. These are people that have served him for how many years? 20-something years. 20-something, 30-something years that have been with him, working for him. Maybe it's because of this guy's issue that he did that propaganda that he was giving houses to some people. That was few months ago. I always say something. The Nigerian pastor happen to everyone that come attacking people like us when we talk. They pay you to go and destroy people's pages so people will not talk about them. And yet, victims keep coming out every day about their atrocities and their wickedness. And we'll still see some people that will say, stop talking about men of God. Who are men of God? Who made them men of God? How did they become men of God? When they were being given birth to, they wrote men of God on their body or what? Or how did you know that they are men of God? Maybe you should experience their other side. They preach forgiveness. Where is that forgiveness in their lives, in their attitude? They preach tolerance. Where is that tolerance? They preach empathy. Where is that empathy in their attitude? They preach that God loves the poor. Where is that sign in them that God loves the poor? They preach that you do not punish the poor, you do not oppress, that God is against oppression. But they are easy and fast to oppress the poor. My voice is not so clear for now. It's not yet totally clear, so I can't talk much. That is another victim of all your men of God. This is another victim. I am sure if he is asked, he will bite and regret the day he signed to work for them. Because if you go and work in an ordinary company and they want to sack you, they will pay you your entitlements. They can decide to sack, but if they want to sack you, they will give you your entitlement before you are sacked. And they will not lie against you. If ordinary company does it, we will say because they are unbeliever. You want to let somebody off. You don't want to work that person to work for you again. You discharge them the right way. You pay them their entitlements. Calculate how many years they have worked for you, what they are entitled to. And the house is leaving. You won't tell him to leave the house immediately. Now the wife is asking the guy. He said if only he can write that letter, there will not be problem. Everybody will go on their own. Thank God that guy recorded him. A lot of people already were believing that that guy was raping somebody in the school. No matter how long they live, they will die one day. No matter the money they have, when karma is ready to visit them, it does not need permission to enter their house. Either visit them directly or visit their children. They are not, all these pastors, they are not better. They are just exactly the same thing as Nigerian government, who oppresses and silences people. I need to go now. Shetigbo, you don't see another pastor. You see another victim. See how he was brutalized, oppressed, used police. They are now fond of using police on people. Any little thing, they will carry police. Anything they will carry police to harass people. Any little thing, they are ready to go to court. So sad. Any nice evening. Bye. Please don't forget to follow my page if you have not started following. This is a new page. The old page, the pastors and people, they have allow Facebook to bring the page down. No problem. This is a new page I'm trying